Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we had already looked at the Brahma Jnana Sadhana. What are the means to attain this Brahma Jnanam or Atma Jnanam? That was already discussed. Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, or the Sakshat Karanam or Sakshat Sadhanam, the direct means. But one also needs to prepare oneself for this knowledge. For that, one has to do sadhana. And here the yoga sadhana, Ashtanga yoga, is very useful. So the Ashtanga yoga also was discussed. And Ashtanga yoga sadhana is useful also once you do Shravanam and Mananam to strengthen the knowledge. Okay, because there can be some habitual tendencies which are all pratibandhakas. Pratibandhaka means hindrance, you can say, which makes the knowledge not available. Even though you have the knowledge, it may not be available to you all the time. For that purpose, again, dhyana, nididhyasana, as we call it, is important. And for that purpose also, the Ashtanga yoga sadhana can be useful. So that we have already discussed. Now finally, this is the last topic. Atha Jivan Mukta Lakshanam Uchyate. So the characteristics of a Jivan Mukta, the one who is liberated, one who is free, even while living. So this Jivan Mukti itself is not accepted by many people, those who claim to be Vedantins, like Vishishta Dvaitins. For them, there is no Jivan Mukti really. They have only Videha Mukti. So you have to die and then go to some loka. So that is what is Mukti for them. In fact, our Pujya Swamiji, my guru, used to call that as tourism promotion, in fact. Anyway, so but the Jivan Mukta is accepted only by the Vedanta Sampradaya, the Advaita Vedanta Sampradaya. And what is the Lakshanam? The Jivan Mukta Lakshanam is also discussed in detail in Bhagavad Gita also, in the Sthita Prajna Lakshana. The second chapter, Arjuna asks Bhagavan, what are the characteristics of a jnani, of a Sthita Prajna? Sthita Prajna means for whom the knowledge is well established. One who is well established in the jnanam, in the Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. So Arjuna actually asks, how does he walk, how does he talk, and all that. Basically, it is about that person. Because the Jivan Mukta Lakshana, why it is important for us, even for a sadhaka, it is important because the Jivan Mukta Lakshana becomes your goal, you can say, correct? Whatever is their characteristics, those are the things which even as a sadhaka you want to achieve. Whatever the Jivan Mukta has, those are the things which become your lakshya. Their lakshana becomes your lakshya, and therefore it is important to know that. And also it is important to know this because for yourself to own up the knowledge. Owning up the knowledge is the most difficult part here. The Brahma Jnanam itself can be taught very easily. It is not a very difficult subject matter, actually speaking, because it is about something which you have already accomplished. So you are already the Brahman, correct? The teaching is not that you will become Brahman. If you have to become Brahman, in fact, it is very difficult. You cannot, in fact, it is impossible because you cannot become the limitless, correct? Being limited, you can never become the limitless. But you are already Brahman. That is the teaching. The teaching is that you are Brahman. So in one way, it should be very easy then, because you are already that. But even though you are already Brahman, it is not easy to own up to that knowledge. So the whole sadhana, whatever effort you are making, is to own up to this knowledge actually. And Jivan Mukti itself is there only if you have owned up to this knowledge completely. Otherwise, you are in the process still, we have to say. So the Jivan Muktaha, who is a Jivan Mukta? How do we characterize? That also is given here. Jivan Muktaha nama Swaswarupa Akhanda Brahma Jnanena Tad Ajnana Badhana Dwara Swaswarupa Akhanda Brahmani Sakshat Krite Ajnana Tat Karya Sanchita Karma Samshaya Viparyayadinam Api Badhitatvat Akhila Bandha Rahitaha Brahmanishtaha. So Jivan Muktaha Nama, the one who is known as Jivan Muktaha, who is he? He is a Brahmanishtaha. We'll start from here. Because Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, that is given in the Upanishad itself, correct? If you want to go and learn, if you want to have a guru, what are the lakshana of your guru? Because guru has to be a Jivan Mukta. Only the one who knows this can teach it with any conviction. So the teacher, the guru, for that guru, this knowledge should be one's own knowledge. It is my knowledge, then I can teach you. It should not be that I say that, okay, the book is saying this, Upanishad is saying this, like this, one cannot teach Vedanta. Means Brahmanishtaha means one who is clear about this knowledge and one who is living this knowledge, so to speak, correct? One who is established in this knowledge, one for whom the knowledge is very clear and it is always available. It has to be sahaja. Originally, one thinks that aham jivaha, I am a jiva, I am an individual, I am a limited being, I am a mortal, I am confined to a particular body, mind, sense complex. These are all the identity. Now that entire identity itself has to undergo a transformation. So the self-transformation has to happen. And the identity aham brahmasmi should be your natural identity. Then you are a Jivan Muktaha. That person is a Brahmanishta, in fact. So then the Brahmanishta, how do you become a Brahmanishta? Means for you, all the ajnana, ignorance about oneself, because the whole problem is centered on oneself. The problem is one of self-ignorance, the ignorance centered on oneself. Even there, the ignorance is not complete ignorance, correct? Everybody knows oneself. Are you there means you will say yes. But there are wrong notions about oneself. So all those wrong notions have to go away. Due to wrong notions, there are also effects of that. Okay? That's what we call is samsara. So for this person, there is no ignorance with reference to oneself. There are no wrong notions about oneself. So how do you get rid of all these wrong notion? Means you have to gain knowledge about oneself, swaswarupa, about one's own nature. Akhanda Brahma Jnanena. So swaswarupa Akhanda Brahma Jnana means what? You know yourself as the limitless. Brahman is limitless. Our entire problem is that I take myself as a limited individual, limited being. Now that has to go. Instead, what is your natural state? Aham Brahmasmi. I am the limitless conscious being who is akhanda means what? Who is partless. I am a partless whole. I don't have any parts, because if You are made up of parts means it will all come apart, correct? Anything which is made up of parts will come apart. It's a problem only. It's all, then it will become anitya. But aham nitya, nitya mukta swabhavaha. I am always free. I am always pure. Nityam shuddha mukta swabhavaha also. Why we have to say pure? Otherwise you think that you are subjected to karma. Correct? I have all accumulated karma. I don't even know how much it is there. Sanchita karma is there. Prarabdha karma is there. This life has begun and it is going due to some karma. Then again I am collecting more karma because either I want to go to Swarga, I am accumulating more punya, or I just live as per my natural tendencies, go after sense objects, do not do Shastra Vyavahara, then I am going to collect papa and end up somewhere in either animal yoni or go to Naraka. All that is possibility. So I am having all this karma. That is the normal understanding again. Even one who is a Vaidika, all the Vaidika karma, why do you do? Because to accumulate punya and avoid papa. So I am subjected to karma. I already have sanchita karma. I am undergoing prarabdha karma and I am going to collect agami karma, which is going to give me some better life, etc. Hereafter also. Here and hereafter I want pleasant experiences, a good life and all that. So I am collecting karma. So if we take this, that I am subjected to karma itself is an impurity only. Understand that. That is the starting point. Papa punya. That's how generally people are looking at themselves, particularly those who are Vaidikas. Okay, those who are religious. There are people who don't believe in all these things also, but even they are also subjected to that, whether they believe or not. Okay. So that one is subjected to some karma, or at least the vagaries of the nature, we have to say otherwise, correct? All that one has to give up. That is all impurity, in fact. And another impurity is ragadvesha, again, born out of. Once you are subjected to karma, you are limited, means you will have ragadvesha, you will be subjected to desires because you look upon yourself as a wanting person. As soon as you look upon yourself as a wanting person, you cannot escape having desires, having likes, having dislikes. All these things will now trouble you, because once you have desires and if it is unfulfilled, then it becomes pain. Pain becomes anger. If your desire is fulfilled for somebody else, it becomes jealousy. All these issues will come. And if you are desperate to fulfill your desire, even by doing adharma, then it becomes greed. So all this will start then. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. And even if your desire is fulfilled, you will have pride. That is madam. Correct? And you are deluded. Once you have anger and all that, you go into delusion. So all these issues are there. All these things are impurities. So all these things have to be negated, have to go away. How it will go means you have to remove your self-ignorance. That is the only way it will go completely. Otherwise, as a sadhaka also, you are working for all that. Okay, yoga buddhi is going to help you in this. So you have to have an Ishwararpana buddhi while doing karma. Also, you are doing karma not for karma phala, but for antakarana shuddhi. Like this, once you change your attitude towards karma, that is going to help you in having a certain mastery over your ragadvesha. But still, how will it completely go means, unless you have a certain self-transformation, You cannot be free of all this raga dvesha, okay, kama krodha. They are the main, they are your vairis, Bhagavan says in Gita also, correct? So that ajnana badana dwara, so brahma jnanena, by gaining this brahma jnanam and also by negating this ajnana. So negating this ajnana means what? Swaswarupa akanda brahmani sakshat krite, he says. So this akanda brahma is sakshat krita means what? It is your own knowledge. Okay. You are owning up to that knowledge. Then only we call it sakshat krita. Krite means what? It is not that somebody else's knowledge or somebody, my guru is saying that, Upanishad is saying that is not useful. That then it is paroksha jnanam only. It should become aparoksha jnanam. It is my knowledge. I am clear about my own swarupa. What is my swarupa? That clarity is important. That is what sakshat krite is again important. And once you understand yourself, certain transformation happens. There is a cognitive change leading to self-transformation. Then what? Ajnata tat ajnana tat karya sanchita karma samshaya vipareyadinam api baditatvat. So once you have owned up to this knowledge completely, the ajnanam, atma ajnanam and its karya, the entire taking this jagat as real, taking oneself as a limited jiva, etc. Correct? All that is all ajnana karyam only. And taking oneself as subjected to karma. In fact, I am not even a karta. I am not a karta bhokta. That is how we transcend all karma. Correct? As a jnani, I am not subjected to any karma. Why? Because I am not a karta bhokta. Then how can I be subjected to any karma? So I am free from all karma as soon as I understand that. So you have transcended, you have negated all karma as only mithya. So they are all badita. Prarabdha alone, badita anuvritti is there, we say, because it has already started. It is like mukta ishuvati, like that Bhashyakara also says in the Bhashya. Even there is a Brahma Sutra for that. Because unless you accept Jivan Mukti and Badita Anuvritti means what? Even though it is negated, it continues because it has already started. Whatever has already started has to complete. That is called Badita Anuvritti. Even though it is negated, it is continuing till it completes. And that period only is Jivan Mukta Avastha, we say. And that is important because then only there can be Guru Shishya Vyavahara. Because the Guru has to teach, then only this parampara will also continue. And Jivan Mukti is so important for that. A Guru can teach only from one's own, this Sakshat Krite we say, correct? It has to be my knowledge, my Anubhava. Swanubhava is very important. You should have a Swanubhavam, one's own Anubhava as a Jivan Mukta. And from that only the teaching has to come. Then only it will be effective. So this Jivan Mukta Lakshanam, we have to know, and Jivan Mukta Avastha itself is important for also having this Guru Shishya Vyavahara. But the Guru does not look upon oneself as subjected to any karma, even though the Prarabdha karma has to continue and complete. It is like the fan is running, you switch off. Already there is no power to the fan, but already whatever it is rotating, it will rotate for some more time till it stops, correct? This kind of analogy we can give. Or Bhashyakara gives, the arrow has already left the bow. It's already having a certain momentum. It has to come. Until that momentum is there, it will be going, the arrow will be going, then it will fall somewhere, correct? Like that. But the Sanchita karma, Agami karma, all that is gone. Only the Prarabdha alone, it is also Badita, it is also not there. Okay, for the Jnani, there is no Prarabdha karma also. From one's own standpoint, no karma is there. all this karma and the karya, everything else is all, the whole vyavahara is due to karma only. So that also, all of them. And with reference to that, any doubts, samshaya, viparyaya. Viparyaya means again taking oneself as a karta, bhokta and all is viparyaya, correct? Wrong notions. Doubts about oneself or taking oneself again as a karta, bhokta, all these things are not there. Viparyaya adinam. Adinam means the samsara itself is not there. There is no life of becoming for a jnani. Once you have understood yourself as this limitless conscious being, then I cannot take myself as a karta bhukta anymore. And I am free from all karma and its effects. And there is no doubt or any wrong notion about myself. All that is gone. Okay. Therefore, all these things are negated. Baditatvat, viparyayadinam baditatvat. So all these things are negated as mithya. That is why even one's own individuality, you should be able to see yourself as mithya. One's own individuality is not real. It is not intrinsic to yourself, correct? The individuality comes and goes. There is no individuality in deep sleep. In dream, you can have some other individuality. So taking the waking individuality as some kind of a reality itself is a problem. So one needs to see that itself as mithya, as not having any reality. It is not part of your nature. And with that, your mind also is mithya only. So all this yoga sadhana is important till the time you are able to see your mind and your very individuality itself as mithya. Afterwards, the mind also is tamed anyway. If you don't have any identity with your mind can still continue functioning. Functioning of the mind itself is not a problem for a Vedantin. Understand that. The yogi only says that the mind has to be, there should not be any chalana in the mind, correct? Chitta vritti itself you have to stop. That is not a problem for us. The Vedantin says that the chitta vritti should be akhandakara vritti. Aham brahmasmi is the vritti. And once that aham brahmasmi also is known, it is sakshat krita, it is clear, and it has transformed you, that the vision about oneself as Brahman is your sahaja, it is your very nature, then the functioning of the mind itself is not an issue. It can function because the function of the mind also is prarabdha only. And if you are able to objectify that and not identify with that, mind is as good as it is dead. Understand that. Because some people talk about mano nasha also. Okay, mano nasha means seeing the mind as mithya. That is the badita. It's all negated. I do not have any mind or anything. Understand that. Mind itself has no reality for me. That is the thing. So all the things starting from avidya, kama, karma, etc., everything, and the upadhi, which is the karana for having all this, everything is negated. Baditatvat, akhila bandharahitaha, the one who is free from all bondages. Because your bondage itself is the thought that I am a limited jiva constrained within a certain body mind sense complex. Now that itself is gone. It's no more there. So you are free from all bondages. That is the Jivan Mukta Lakshanam. And that is that is something one can enjoy then, correct? You have no bondage. You don't depend upon anything for your happiness, correct? Even that's why Bhagavan also says, Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha, Sthita Prajnas Tadochyate and all that. Okay. So one who is happy with himself, in himself, by himself and all that, you can, himself, herself, whatever, you can put all that. That means one who is not dependent on any external thing for one's own happiness, because I am the source of all happiness. Ananda Swarupa. That means Krita Krityaha. I don't have to achieve anything. It is as though all my desires are fulfilled. Saha Ashnute, so Ashnute Sarvan Kamaan Saha Brahmavit attains Yugapat. As soon as one knows oneself as the limitless, you have as though fulfilled all your desires. There are no more desires to be fulfilled. There is nothing which is going to give you happiness in this world or anything, because you are the Ananda Swarupa. So that is the person for whom all the bandha is gone. Akila bandha rahitaha. And now the author is quoting Upanishad also. This is Mundaka Upanishad. Vidyate hridaya granthihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. So the one who has seen the reality of para and avara here, it says Upanishad, Jnani basically. Now here also he has said this same thing only he has said here, the author, you can see. See, Bhidyate Hridaya Granthihi means the knot. The knot in your Hridaya is nothing but this ignorance only. The Ajnana only is the knot. It has broken. The knot is broken. There is no more knot. And all the samshayas are gone. Sarva samshayaha chidyante. They are all destroyed. They are all cut. They have gone to pieces. So here samshaya also he talks about. And kshiyante cha asya karmani. It's all the karma are also, they have eroded. They have gone. There is no more karma for this jnani. That also was said here, correct? So sanchita karma, samshaya viparyayadinam, all these things, whatever he said, he is now giving you the Upanishad quotation to substantiate whatever was said. This is the Mundaka Shruti 228. So for the jnani, there is no karma, there are no doubts, there is no ignorance about oneself. That is the main thing. And further what? I am tu vyuthana samaye mamsa shonita mutra purishadi bhajanena sharirena andhyamandya patutvadi bhajanena indriya gramena ashana pipasa shoka mohadi bhajanena antakaranena cha purva vasaneya kriyamanani karmani buddhyamanani jnana aviruddha arabdha phalani cha pashyannapi bhaditatvat paramarthataha na pashyante. Okay, so this is the thing which already I was explaining to you. So all karma is not there for the jnani. There is no karma for the jnani. But still the prarabdha has already started, correct? And it is continuing, even though it is negated, there is anuvritti, means what? It still continues. It continues in a negated form. So the jnani also, when you look at the jnani, you will say, okay, jnani also is eating like me, drinking like me, all these things, correct? Jnani also has, diseases will come, because if body is there, the disease is to the body, it's not to the self. Understand that. So even Ramana had to undergo cancer. Ramakrishna had cancer again. All these jnanis have disease, body will get diseased. Old age will come. Nobody can do anything about it, correct? So this this whoever is a jnani also, due to the, see here, jnana aviruddha arabdha phalani, it is said. Arabdham means prarabdham. Basically, prarabdha, arabdha, they are all same. That which has already begun fructifying, the effects of the karma, arabdha phalani, that's what. But they are jnana aviruddha, means what? They do not affect the jnana of the jnani anymore. If you have, see, normally prarabdha itself is very powerful, and that itself is a pratibandhaka. That is why even after Shravana Manana, the Nididhyasana is very important, so that the prarabdha karma and its effect does not affect you. But once you are beyond that, once you have certain strength of your knowledge, correct? There is a bala, jnana bala is there. And you are rooted in that knowledge only, then this prarabdha, the effects of the prarabdha also are not going to affect you in any way. It is all jnana aviruddha only. And because of that, what? All these things you see for the jnani also. What are the things? Okay, these are all because of this jnana aviruddha arabdha phalani, and also purva vasanaya. Jnani also has preferences, correct? South Indian jnani will like idli dosa. North Indian jnani may like roti. South Indian likes coffee. North Indian jnani likes tea. All these things can be there. They are all purva vasana. Because even in Gita, Bhagavan says, Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha prakriter jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Like that. So even for a jnani, one's own, as an individual, the preferences, there is a certain prakriti is there, correct? One's nature, however how you have been brought up, etc. Based on that, certain things are there. Purva vasanaya, you do your karma. Whatever the way you eat, what you eat, etc. also are because of the purva vasana, and they are all because of the arabdha karma also, which is fructifying. Already the karma which has started, it is fructifying, and due to the whatever purva vasana which is there, some karma jnani also has to do. And this karma again what? So if you do karma means then all these activities are there, correct? Because the physical body is there, it is composed of flesh, blood, etc. So he is describing all that here. You can see mamsa, shonita, mutra purishadi bhajanena. So even a jnani has to excrete, correct? And since this body made up of all this flesh is there, flesh, bones, etc. Then for the purpose of upkeep of the body, you have to eat, correct? So, sharirena, so the sharira is there. Since you are bhajanena means, bhak means one who is having all these things. Bhajanena means since the jnani is having this body, which is made up of flesh, and again which is undergoing all these activities like excretion, etc. Okay, and because this sharira is there, correct? You have a body, the physical body, jnani also has to experience, and also there are indriyas are also there. Okay, sharirena andhyamandya patutvadi bhajanena. So the body itself can have different things, weakness, etc. Okay, and also there are indriya gramena. The sense organs are there, and because of that, through the sense organs only, blindness, or jnani also can become deaf if due to age also, sight is also coming down. hearing ability is going down. All these things you can see for a jnani. And since this is happening, he is not a jnani, you cannot say, correct? These things will happen for everybody. Okay, because the Indriya Grama is there. Indriya Grama means the group of the sense organs also are functioning for the jnani. And the prana also is there. So Ashana, Pipasa, and even jnani can at least show some emotions have to be there, correct? If you are living a life of a human being, you cannot be like a rock. You have to show emotions. So jnani can also express shoka, etc. Because if something is there, you have to condole for somebody, or somebody is suffering, means you have to also identify with their suffering. Even though jnani does not suffer, jnani doesn't see any problem in the world. In fact, it is a very difficult thing. Even whatever is the great problem for others, it's not a problem for jnani really. But still the jnani has to show at least that you are understanding their problem. There has to be empathy. Compassion is that only. Even though one doesn't look upon something as a problem, you still look at it like a problem, and then you have to at least have certain empathy and help others. That is all happening, correct? So shoka, moha, etc. can be there for a jnani also, or it looks like jnani is having that, because the antakarana is there still, and prana is there, indriyas are there, physical body is there. All these activities are happening because of purva vasana and prarabdha karma. So all these things, even though it is there, jnani also is experiencing that, but pashyannapi guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate, like this Bhagavan says, correct, in Gita. For jnani, all these things are also objectified. There is no identification with self there. Jnani doesn't think, even if the indriya is not functioning, it is indriya's problem, correct? It is not my problem. I don't take myself as deaf or blind and then have a problem with that. There is no identity in any of the activities of all these things. They are all functioning. That is fine. Due to some prarabdha karma, some vasana, purva vasana is there, fine. But there is no identity. It's all guna, guneshu vartante. The gunas are there, and they are mixing with each other, and some activity is happening. But for me, it is all negated. From my own standpoint, none of this, I am not subjected to any of these things. I don't have any identity with any of the activities of the body mind sense complex, even though their activities are going on. So even though these things are seen, experienced, but they are all badhitatvat, paramarthataha na pashyate. In reality, they are all not there. In fact, I am not even a knower. That is the paramarthataha, means subject object itself is only mithya. So none of this is real. There is no paramartha, reality to them. Jnani doesn't give any reality to any of these activities. So it is all like yatha indrajalam iti jnanavan tad indrajalam pashyannapi paramartham idam iti na pashyati. So like even a magic, correct? So it's all like a magic show. You see the magic, but if you know the reality of the magic, you don't take it as reality, correct? So it is like that only. It is all only Indrajala, this entire Vyavahara. It is like a magical performance. It's all magic, Ishwara's magic, in fact. And it's a magic show, means you can enjoy also then, in fact. Once it becomes a magic show, whatever is there, it's only enjoyment. There is no problem. And again he is quoting Sachakshuhu, Achakshuhu iva, Sakarnaha, Akarnaha iva, ityadi shrutehe. So there are shrutis are there even though he has eyes, in reality, he has no eyes. Achakshuhu. Even though you have karna, ears, you are really akarnaha. You don't have any ears. Because as self, you don't have any of these things. As the limitless conscious being, none of these things are really there in you. It's all only mithya. And also Uktancha, Upadesha Sahasri also is quoting here. Shushuptavad jagrati yaha na pashyati dvayancha pashyannapi cha advayatvataha tatacha kurvannapi nishkriyancha yaha sa atmavit na anyaha itiha nischayaha. So, in the Upadesha Sahasri, Bhashyakara, Shankara is beautifully explaining this, correct? So what does he say? He says, the person, one who does not see anything in the waking state also. Like in the Sushupti, there is no subject-object duality. Like that, in the waking state also, even though you are seeing all this, they have no reality. They are all negated. It is as though, it is only as though, correct? It is only Indrajala and all that we say. It is not there really. That is what. So the unreality of the subject-object Vyavahara, it is literally not there in sleep. In waking also, it is as good as that only. Correct? The one who sees that. Correct? So, Sushuptavat Jagrati Yaha na Pashyati Dvayam. One who does not see any duality, even in Jagrat, like even in Sushupti. Why? Because even though you see that, okay, he does not really see, because I am not a seer. One, I know that I am not a knower, I am not a seer, I am not even a pramata in reality. So none of this seeing and all is I don't take it as anything real. So it is as good as it is not there only. So Pashyannapi cha advayatvataha. So due to this all only advaya, because one who is seeing only the advaya vastu, advaya alone is the reality for this person. Everything else is mithya. So even in waking, even though duality is there, in fact, the Advaitin has a very interesting logic, correct? Drishyatvat mithya. So mithya, something is mithya. Why? Because it is appearing. Anything which appears as an object, it's all mithya only. So if you are clear about that, then the very seeing of that object also is mithya. Once the seen object becomes mithya, the seeing also is mithya. The status of being the seer also is mithya. Everything is mithya. Because it's all drishya. So therefore what? Tathacha kurvan api niskriyascha. So even though one is doing something, one is not a karta, one is not a karta bhokta. That's what Bhashyakara is saying here. Even though you do, you are not doing anything. Karmani akarma yah pashyed akarmani cha karma yaha sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta kritsna karma krite. Like this, Bhagavan also, 4th chapter, beautifully he says, even though karma is happening, because you are akarta, you don't see any karma there, really speaking. Karmani akarma yah pashyed. Nishkriyaha, aham nishkriyaha is the knowledge. Correct? That person is Atmavit and not anybody else. Correct? Na anyaha iti iha nischyaha. So this is the nischaya, this is the truth. Only the one who sees like this is the Atmavit, not anybody else. An Atmavit cannot look upon oneself as Karta Bhokta. Therefore what? Atha jnanat purvam vidyamananam eva ahara viharadinam anuvrittivat shubha vasananam eva anuvrittihi bhavati shubha shubhayoho audasinyam va. So therefore what? This we do see this jnani, and for that jnani what? This, even whatever you are seeing, correct? Jnani's life, activities, etc. He says that whatever jnanat purvam, before that person gained the jnanam, whatever was there, vidyamananam eva ahara viharadinam, the whatever food, the way he rests, the way he lives, etc., it is all due to that vasana. Whatever you have in that life, your habits are formed, that will continue. They are not in any way opposed to this jnanam or anything. The anuvritti, badita anuvritti is what we say. And also anuvrittivat, this we already said, correct? For a jnani, this badita anuvritti is there. Similarly, shubha vasananam eva anuvritti bhavati, he says. So for the jnani, this whatever punya karma alone is fructifying, because while becoming the jnani only you have done so much sadhana and you have done a lot of punya karma, all this papa, one has the papa vasana or ashubha vasana and all is destroyed even as a sadhaka for the jnani. So the shubha vasanas continue, but even then, if let us say, of course, everything cannot be only shubha vasana, then why does the body get some kind of vyadhi and all is coming, correct? Diseases are there. Even if some ashubha vasana is there, then audasinyam means the jnani udasina means non-chalent. One is non-chalent with reference to whatever is happening to the body, mind, sense complex. Jnani doesn't take it as that I am suffering and all that. A jnani can never have the idea that I am suffering, etc. I am in sorrow. These things are not possible. So the jnani is udasinavad asinaha, like that even in Gita also it is said. Correct? So you become indifferent. Either you have done so much punya and you have destroyed all your papa as a sadhaka, therefore only shubha vasana continues. Or even if ashubha vasana is there, that is all, you don't really care for that. The jnani cannot take it seriously. It is all udasina, only one is non-chalent with reference to that, indifferent. Shubha shubhayoho udasinyam va. This is how the Jivan Mukta's life is. And that is also said in Upadesha Sahasri, Naishkarmya Siddhi and all that. Okay. Buddha Advaita Satatvasya Yateshtacharanam Yadi Shunam Tattva Chaiva Kaha Bhedaha Ashuchi Bhakshane Iti. See, this Sureshwara is giving very strong words here, because the jnani is said to be free from all rules. In fact, this we discussed even in 3.5 of Brihadaranyaka recently. So there is a question to Yajnavalkya there. How does the jnani live? Means however he lives, he is still a jnani. Like this, Yajnavalkya answers. That is only a praise for the jnani, because whatever may be the lifestyle of the jnani, jnani is a jnani. Okay, there is no change in that. There is no doubt in that. So you cannot say any rule or anything can be there for a jnani, that jnani has to live like this only or that only, etc. But that is only a praise. That does not give a license to somebody to say that I am a jnani, so I will do all kinds of adharma and all that. That is not at all possible. Understand that. That is why the yateshta acharanam means what? You can then do whatever you want as per your natural tendencies of your indriyas, etc. means that is not a jnani. Even before you become a jnani, you have certain mastery over your body, mind, sense complex as a sadhaka. And that is not going to go away because you have become a jnani, correct? That has to only continue. That is the shubha vasana he talked about here. So why is he saying this is because somebody cannot claim that I am a jnani and start acting like any normal samsari, correct? So Buddha Advaita Satatvasya, so one who has known this Advaita Jnanam, for whom, okay, so here Sureshwara is saying this, who has known the truth of oneness, and he cannot act according to his whims and fancies, correct? Yateshta acharanam yadi. Even if he does that, means what? He says it is like what? Then what is the difference between Shunam Tattva Drishanchaiva Ko Bedaha, he is asking. What is the difference between a Tattva Jnani, one who has seen the truth, Tattva Drik, and a dog? Dog is acting as per its own instincts. A Jnani cannot also be like that, correct? Because dog can go and eat anything from the road also. Dog can eat. Street dogs are there in India. We see what all they eat. So Ashuchi Bhakyanam means what? A dog can eat anything impure also. But can a Jnani also be like that? Means it's not possible, because Jnani already as a sadhaka has got a certain Shubha Lakshana, we have to say, correct? And that cannot go away. That is the idea. And similarly, Upadesha Sahasri also what? Brahmavit tam tata muktva sa atmajnanaha nacha itaraha. So the Brahmavit, one who has known this Brahman as oneself, what he has given up muktva means this ego, one has to give up this limited ego. Then only one becomes this Brahmavit, correct? You have to surrender the limited. You surrender all your limitations and then own up to the limitlessness. That is the Brahmavit. That is the one. So he is already free from all this limited ego and ego based activities and all that. That person is the Brahmavit really, not anybody else. So these things are said here. So a Jnani cannot be a manipulator or anything. See, one who is looking upon oneself as a limited person only can be a manipulator. So these are also important things for you to choose your guru, in fact. Correct? A guru can tell so many things to the Shishya for his own good and all that, but it cannot be some kind of a manipulation. So one has to, there is a fine line between all these things. So this is very important. You cannot be a manipulator and that means you are still operating from a limited ego basis. That person cannot be a Brahmavid then. So these things are all important to understand. Therefore what? Okay, a few more things are there. Maybe we'll see this next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.